Word. All right. So what did you, I learned a little bit about Instagram, not a lot, but I learned a little bit, and then what I didn't learn was great because it just kind of reiterated that I know what to do. I just have to do it. So how did you feel about this chapter?
I actually, right after I read it, I posted a picture in my accountability partner group, and I was like, if you haven't read this, you have to, only because it does hit pieces that we know, but then there's new things like the IGTV. I thought that was Instagram, and I didn't know it was something different, and that it will just, like, your videos will stay there so that when people are checking it out, they see your videos, like, first thing, which I haven't played with it, so I don't really know exactly how it's going to work, but it's worth trying so that our videos don't just get hidden like they do now.
Right. Okay, so basically she talked a little bit about Facebook in the beginning. I'm going to skim through most of this, and then I want to get on Instagram and play around. So make sure your Instagram is public. That's important. Have a link either to your website or your private Facebook group. You're going to want to focus on your recorded videos, your product endorsements, and reposts. She talked about using filters, which I love Instagram filters. I use them often. But then she talked about VSCO or color stories, which I'm going to check out in a few minutes. So I thought we could do it together. And then she talked about Jenna Kutcher and Rachel Hollis for other ideas. Then she talked about your grid, which I had never heard of this before. This is your 9 most recent posts, and it's what visitors will see. And I know that because when I get on Instagram, I see that, obviously. But I guess I didn't really think, I really need to go and check out mine. So after this, we'll go and look at each other's and see what that looks like. So it's kind of the similar things with Facebook. Once you have once you've made a post, you're going to want to hang out there and watch and see if anybody likes or comments it. You're going to want to comment with your hashtags. I've been starting this. I don't do it every time, but I've been starting this because I read somewhere that people say that it's not as salesy or as cluttery if you put it in your comments instead of in your first post. So if you're posting a picture about your kids, all your hashtags are going to be kind of about moms and kids and things like that, and they're going to be in your comments, and that will help keep it clean looking.
Yeah, I really love that part just because once I took off, I haven't put them in my comments yet, so that is a work in progress, but a couple of mine I took off the hashtags and it did just look cleaner.
Yeah. Well, if you're not using hashtags, people can't find your pictures, so that's important. So when we'll talk about how to use those. Hey, Val. So following people, this is the one part that I learned and I struggle with. I do not agree with buying followers, and I know she said, you can do that, but really not recommended. But aggressively following others in a safe manner. I don't do this because I thought that that they say that that you don't want to have more people, you don't want to be following more people than follow you. So right now I'm following 669 people, but 799 people are following me, and that's only like 100 people away. So if I go follow 50 people today, hopefully I get some people to follow me back, but I have probably not followed anyone in a really long time because, except for like my Facebook friends, just because I don't really have a good excuse because I don't know them and because I don't really know, I feel like most of the people that follow me are other network marketers and other people trying to sell something, and that doesn't seem like it's worth my time. So I need to get better about just going and trying to find real people to follow. she suggests taking some time to do that. I loved the idea of posting on your Facebook about Friday Follow, and that way you can get some people to go over to your Facebook. So basically, you're gonna share your Instagram URL or your what do they call that? Your tagline, I think. I don't know, something like that. So that people will go over and follow you, and you're gonna follow them back. Okay, and so. And using hashtag Friday Follow. I've also seen hashtags like for a like, follow for a follow, things like that, where other people will follow you and you can follow them back. When she talked about hashtags, so we're going to talk about hashtags a little bit separately from this. She did talk about an app called Lee Tags. Did you check it out? I have not checked it out yet. Okay, so we'll do that together. And then I've learned a lot about hashtags, and so I'm excited to talk about it and kind of just go through Instagram so we can kind of see. But she also says use location-based tags, or called geotags, that they get up to 79% more engagement than regular posts. And then she talked about the IGTV, which is going to be a separate app, and it's about your videos. She did talk about doing your videos in your stories and going live, and she talked about the differences between those things. So any questions before we kind of dive into just looking at Instagram?
I can tell you on this chapter, sorry I was late. I can tell you on this chapter, I am totally lost because I don't do Instagram. So her verbiage and everything was way over my head. I don't understand it at all. So this chapter for me was a tough one.
Well, you can't understand it if you're not doing it. So we talked about making sure that you get into your Facebook, and that's going to be your priority right now, and everybody's different. And that's okay. So, just use what you've learned. You can really relate Instagram and Facebook very similar. The only thing you're not using is hashtags. So you can still use filters. You can still use videos and stories, all of those things. You're just not using hashtags in the same way that you use them on Instagram.
Okay.
But take note in these things, watch what we do, watch what we're looking at, because eventually you're going to want to go on Instagram and you're going to know how to do it.
Right.
Okay, so let me see if I can find, I'm trying to get on our meeting on here with my phone so that I can screen share. Because you cannot use Instagram on your computer, if you didn't know that. Where? Meetings. I haven't used this on my phone in a while. Okay, so we are book studies starting. Should be able to just log out. Hang on.